of state public interest research groups, U.S. PIRG, since 1989. State PIRGs are nonprofit, nonpartisan consumer, environmental, and good government watchdog groups with over 500,000 members around the United States. Mr. Murwinski is a founding member of the Transatlantic Consumer Dialogue and represents U.S. PIRG on the TACD Steering Committee, and from 1981 through 1988 served as Executive Director of Connecticut PIRG, where he helped pass the nation's first new car lemon law. Mr. Murwinski has testified before both Congress and state legislatures numerous times and has authored or co-authored numerous major reports on a wide range of consumer issues, including cable television rates, telecommunications reform, banking, financial services, and identity theft, and product safety issues, including toy and playground safety. Welcome to you. Our second witness is Mr. Richard Schleter. Is that correctly pronounced? Okay. Mr. Schleter is founding member of Childers, Buck & Schleter, LLP, a law firm in Atlanta, Georgia. He has extensive trial and motion practice experience as a lawyer practicing in the federal and state courts of Georgia. Mr. Schleter currently represents victims in product liability and personal injury cases, as well as representing victims of investor fraud in the solicitation and sale of securities. Mr. Schleter is a recipient of the JC's annual Brownfield Award for Leadership and has been an award-winning participant in pro bono projects for his representation of financially disadvantaged plaintiffs. I want to welcome you to our panel today. Our third witness is Victor Schwartz. Mr. Schwartz chairs the Public Policy Group at Shook, Hardy & Bacon. He is co-author of the nation's leading torts case, Procer, Wade & Schwartz's Torts, and also wrote Comparative Negligence, the principal text on the subject. Mr. Schwartz also serves as general counsel to the American Tort Reform Association and co-chairs the American Legislative Exchange Council's Civil Justice Task Force. Mr. Schwartz is former dean of the University of Cincinnati College of Law and currently serves on its board of visitors. During his academic career, he litigated cases on behalf of plaintiffs and secured the first punitive damages award in the Midwest against a manufacturer of a defective product. Welcome to our panel. Our final witness is Ralph Steinhardt. Professor Steinhardt specializes in international law, conflict of laws, international business transactions, international civil litigation, and property law. He is co-director of the Oxford GW program in International Human Rights Law at St. Catherine's College, Oxford. His current research and advocacy concerns the human rights obligations of multinational corporations. He now serves as the only U.S. citizen on the expert legal panel on that subject under the auspices of the International Commission of Jurists. Professor Steinhardt has served as legal counsel to several foreign governments in both commercial and intergovernmental matters, including border disputes and economic relations, and pioneered the application of international human rights law in U.S. courts. I want to thank you all for your willingness to participate in today's hearing. We are very interested in hearing what you have to say. Without objection, your written statements will be placed into the record, and we're going to ask that you please limit your oral remarks to 5 minutes. You will note that we have a lighting system that starts with a green light. At 4 minutes, the light will turn yellow, warning you that you have a minute to finish your testimony. And when your time has expired, you will receive a red light. If you are caught mid-sentence or mid-thought, we will, of course, allow you to finish your final thought before moving on to our next witness. After each witness has presented his testimony, subcommittee members will be permitted to ask questions subject to the 5-minute limit. With all the ground rules having been stated, I'm going to invite Mr. Murwinski to please proceed with his testimony.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Representative Cannon, members of the committee. My name is Ed Murwinski, and on behalf of the U.S. Public Interest Research Group, the Consumer Federation of America, Consumers Union, and Public Citizen, we are pleased to support your legislation, the Protecting Americans from Unsafe Foreign Products Act. We are organizations that have long supported a strong legal system that allows citizens access to justice. We have supported strong product safety laws, and we have supported a strong CPSC and a strong Food and Drug Administration. As you indicated in your opening remarks, Madam Chair, this has been the year of the recall. There have been recalls of over 40 million children's products and toys. There have been recalls of tainted blood thinner heparin, the unsafe tires, the tainted toothpaste and the pet food that killed or sickened hundreds, if not thousands, of cats and dogs. So it has been a very bad year for the American people in terms of foreign products that have harmed them. Over the last 22 years, our organization has released a report on dangerous toys that's resulted in over 130 recalls by the CPSC. Just a point of example of the kinds of dangerous products that are being placed into children's arms, I brought a few with me that have been recalled just to show you. The most common kinds of recalls historically had been small parts that are banned for sale to children under 3 that fit in this choke test tube. But lately we have been finding painted toys with excessive levels of lead. We're also finding jewelry. Millions of units of small pieces of jewelry have been recalled. One little boy died that is known of from swallowing a piece of jewelry that was 99% lead. These little zipper pulls are 65% lead. A lot of the recent recalls, particularly of the Mattel toys, have not actually been lead paint. They've been of a new hazard, tiny, powerful, rare earth magnets. When we found these little panda bears, the little magnets had fallen out and were actually in the package. And just an example of how powerful they are, I have one on either side of my finger. One little boy, Kenny Sweet, swallowed several of these. They caused an intestinal blockage and he died. At least 25 other children have been sent to emergency surgery due to swallowing these tiny magnets. What do all these toys have in common? They come from China. The Congress, as you noted, is very close to appointing conferees to finish action on legislation to improve the power and authority and resources of the Consumer Product Safety Commission to protect us. It protects us from imported toys in a number of ways. It increases its budget dramatically, and it gives it a lot more authority to go after wrongdoers. But strong federal resources and a strong federal agency is only one of 3 pillars of a strong civil justice system. The second pillar is you should also have the right of state attorneys general to enforce both state and federal laws, to use their traditional police powers to protect the public. The legislation before Congress, at least on the CPSC, will go somewhat towards improving attorney general power to protect the public. But the third pillar of consumer protection is access to justice. Consumers need a system where they can bring private actions to help recover damages and compensation when they are harmed or injured by a product. That activity in the